looking forward to the weekend in the Premier League. The standout fixture is Sunday lunchtime kick-off in the US, Manchester United and Arsenal. Stevie, what's your feeling about this going into it? It seems to have flipped on its head, doesn't it, in the last couple of weeks in terms of the fortunes of these two teams?
Well, yes, but I've got to tell you that as soon as I look at this fixture, as soon as I think about it, as soon as I think of Man United, I think Pogba's not going to play again. So your highest paid player, your most sought after player, you're the face of the club, isn't going to kick a ball. Because if he does, then the result might go against him. You know, Ollie's been going on all week about how great he was against Leipzig and how he's getting fitter and waxing lyrical, I should say, about him. But he's not going to play, and he shouldn't play, because when he plays, well, they're just not the same. Fernandes has to be the free guy joining the attack. You need two sitting defenders, two sitting midfielders, that is, and it's going to be Fred and McTominay, and it's not going to be Pogba.
Frank, as Stevie just said, Ollie was full of praise, wasn't he, for Pogba this week? Saying he can do everything on the pitch. He can play long passes, arrive in the box. And so is he really not going to play him?
Well, I think Paul, if he plays, has to show us that we are wrong. But I will go with Stevie. I mean, he has everything that the player needs to have when he wants to be a football player, individually. But collectively, he has to work tactically. He doesn't, and he makes the team unbalanced when he's in the middle of the park, and sometimes it's hard for the other players. Is he going to defend, and is he going to be involved, in the defensive aspect of the game? Not sure about that. That's always a problem. You are sure with McTominay that he's going to defend and he's going to give 100%. As talented as Pogba is, you're never sure what you can get from him. And that's the main concern that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has to have, because that's up to him to get the right players to make sure you're going to keep on winning, especially against Arsenal.
Yeah, and it's a fading memory now, isn't it, when games between these two used to be title deciders. It's funny, you look at who they've beaten this year in the Premier League. United have only beaten Brighton and Newcastle. Arsenal's wins against Sheffield United, West Ham and Fulham. They haven't beaten, either of them, another big team yet. So who needs this more coming into Sunday at Old Trafford?
I think that Manchester United will bring another stat from the Champions League beating PSG and RB Leipzig. It's true. I saw some clip the other day between the big games when Vieira was in midfield against Keane. I mean, that was one of those things. But I think that the big thing now is that the both clubs need to find themselves. How are they going to play? Arteta starting well, getting trophies, now 2 losses in a row. I think with Ole Gunnar, there is not a lot you can compare with maybe the greatest managers of all time, Sir Alex Ferguson. But what you see now with Pogba, he doesn't care about names. He put him out of the team. He can praise Pogba, but he won't play him because that is, he certainly will pay him, that's for sure. But play him, it's harder. And what I think what Ole Gunnar has seen, that is to be that kind of club, you have to defend better, and you have to build a wall around those two centre-half. Lindelof and Maguire looked very bad at the beginning of the season. But Manchester United, Arsenal being a big game, yeah, it's still a big game, but it's a game between two teams who try to find themselves. Not only what I did yesterday, it's all about finding the way to play today and what team they're going to be tomorrow. And there are 2 young managers out there, and you can bring Lampard into that gang as well. 3 managers who try to find their way in the game, and sometimes we overdo their status because they were great footballers.
Stevie, who needs this more?
Adrian,
go on.
I don't know about who needs this more. I've been trying to figure out how this game's going to be played, because you've got 2 teams that, as you said, historically would come at you, grab you by the throat and squeeze you to death. At their best, Arsenal and Manchester United, that's what they did to you. But these 2 sides are identical. They are far better sitting tight and breaking on the opposition. So who's going to take who's actually going to force the pace in this game? I can't figure it out. Because we've talked all along about these 2 sides not good enough to go toe-to-toe with the biggest and the best. And so that's how they play. But how are they going to play against each other? I actually can't make my mind up who's going to actually force the pace in this game. And that's regardless of who's at home.
Any ideas, Frank?
Well, it's going to be complicated, but we're knowing that they can't really count on their defenses, knowing that they've been conceding many stupid goals. I would go for a draw, but I would say that we're going to see goals. Hopefully, we're going to see goals. You know, I was very pessimistic about the game Manchester United-Chelsea, and I was right. It was 0-0. I'm going to be pessimistic about that game, but hopefully, we're going to see some goals. Hopefully.
Jan, pick a winner for us.
Well, and I would probably say a Norwegian to win it, but I agree. I mean, it's hard to say because these teams, they need, well, Manchester United and Arsenal of the past, they were not just one who played on the opposition's mistake. And I was very high criticized after first half in the game against Leipzig because everybody said that Manchester United, they were so good at destroying what RB Leipzig did. But that is not a standard of Manchester United. But to be fair to them, and Stephen Meady discussed that after the game, to be fair to them, in the second half they played brilliantly. And I think that Manchester United would take that confidence into this game. They've been looking okay after that 6-1 in the first set against Tottenham. So I think I will go for a Manchester United win against Arsenal.
And Stevie, even though you can't decide how it's going to be played and what the dynamics are going to be, pick a winner for us.
I think I'm going to agree with Jan. I'm going to go with United because Aubameyang has left his shooting boots in the dressing room for the last few weeks. So, for that reason alone, I think Manchester United's forward line is superior to Arsenal's.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.